past few months, I've thrown a lot of challenging games my girlfriend's way. I'll admit as much as the next guy, watching her go through hell each month is pretty entertaining. But as we get closer to the end of the year, there's just not as much time as there has been, especially to play anything too difficult. Also, I think it's fair to say she's overdue for a little bit of a breather. So instead, I was curious how a fledgling gamer like my girlfriend would do in the world of VR. Just for fun, I thought what better way to introduce her than with the game that got me hooked in the first place, Beat Saber. Beat Saber combines two of my girlfriend's favorite things, dancing and sword fighting. She was a little apprehensive about putting on the helmet,
and that's why we wear a helmet.
But I convinced her to give it a shot on the premise it's basically just dance but with lightsabers. Crazily enough, for once I wasn't lying about that. Getting her set up with VR had a bit of a rocky start. Aside from a shattered lamp and a pretty gnarly bruise, I made it out relatively unscathed. With that being said, my girlfriend had some trouble getting her sea legs. She was a little overzealous with how much she was capable of as a beginner. You don't have to jump.
I didn't realize I was jumping.
Don't lose your balance. Around the time she started feeling woozy, I probably should have taken it off and let her catch some air. But of course, she was too stubborn to admit when she needed a break. So instead, she pushed forwards, and next thing you know, went tumbling over. She got her break, and so did the headset. At least we got the warranty.
Did you get the rental insurance? Because that is pretty important too at a time like this.
With the minor growing pains of VR 101 out of the way, she built up a better constitution for virtual reality and didn't take any more tumbles after that. Ever since her first taste of Beat Saber though, I've spent more time downloading new songs than I have actually using my own helmet.
Ooh, avatars. I'm a little concerned at the number of anime women you have.
I'll start with saying I've learned that it's best not to be in the same room as my girlfriend when she's playing. Pretty dangerous to walk into an office with her flailing her entire wingspan around the middle of the room. One way or another, I always seem to get thwacked in the jaw.
Shit, was that you?
That was my water bottle.
Wait, was the lid on?
I gotta say, it's given me a little anxiety about having her play some more aggressive games out there. The slaps are one thing, but as soon as we set her up with something like super hot and those slaps turn into full-blown punches, sheesh. Oh well, mind is software, body is disposable. She's a pretty out-of-the-box thinker with the whole VR experience. Obviously, she had to get good in order to make it to the end of some of her favorite songs, but she couldn't help but move it to the music with more than just her arms and head. All she's gotta do is swing the swords the right direction, she'd keep vibing, but she's out here stomping her feet, doing spins and tricks.
I'll try spinning, that's a good trick.
It's actually pretty cool. When people watch me play VR, it's usually boring as hell. When you think about it, in my perspective, I'm soaring forward, slashing hundreds of those little blocks. But on the outside, I'm just kind of awkwardly bobbing up and down and humming along to the song.
And Jesus wept, for there were no more worlds to conquer.
She somehow choreographs an entire dance to go along with the music. And it's pretty elaborate. The more times she fails a song, the more attempts she has to get more confident with it, and she starts adding her own twist to the levels. What's crazy is I don't even think she realizes it's happening. It's all involuntary for her.
Nick, I got past the hard part. Fuck.
Every now and again, she'll only be able to find the song she wants to play on Expert Plus difficulty. When that's the case, I can pretty much kiss the headset goodbye, because she's going to be spending more time wearing it than not, at least until she gets that successful clear. It's on these kicks where she drops the virtual part of the equation and just lets this game become reality. Hey, Tarn. Tarn.
Huh?
Sister's on the phone.
Just tell her I'll call her back.
You think I'm kidding, but every time a catchy song comes on in the car, I spot her waving her hands trying to hit invisible blocks. I've often asked myself, would Beat Saber be a good replacement for just regular cardio exercise? With the right song, it'll get your heart pumping. I just started noticing things like I'd go out on a run and come home exhausted, only to find her equally spent. What's worse is she even demands the first shower. It's always a tough pill for me to swallow when my girlfriend surpasses me in a game. In a strange cosmic sort of sense, it almost makes up for the years she spent watching me play games. Because ironically, there's finally a game I can watch her play and not know it better. All in all, I'm just excited she found another game she loves. I'd love to share more, but I already feel like I'm navigating a copyright minefield with this one, so I'll just leave it at this. Add this to the list of games my girlfriend can beat me at.